Producer, do you still have the video with the mother who died at the hospital in Manchester? Producer, do you still have the video with the mother who died at the hospital in Manchester? Not sure if you have it. Tonight, Jamaica, I wanted to carry the persons on screen whose mother died at the hospital. But they're having technical issues. They're having technical issues. So I have to call them. I have to call them, Jamaica. See, they're having.
I'm sorry, but the person you have called.
What is me 99?
You have called.
Them phone off. She gave me an additional number, so I'm calling that number now. Hi, good night. May I speak to Natasha, please? Yes, is this Natasha's brother? This is Andre Stevens.
Yeah, this is Natasha's brother.
But I'm trying to call her. She was to do an interview with me tonight.
Yes, okay. You calling her on her cell phone?
Yes, and she said that you were to be a part of the interview as well.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Hold on, let me call her. Mom! Answer your phone! Oh, she said it's not going through. Yeah. Is the interview going long?
No, it will be about 15 to 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Come. She's coming.
Producer, can you play back the video if you have it? And look back in the group, it should be there. Just re-upload it and see.
It all started when Natasha Brooks took her mother, 78-year-old Virgie Brooks, to the emergency room at the Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester on Thursday, October 10.
She spoke to me on Friday all day. She spoke to me on Saturday all day while she was in the ER. I realized that the oxygen was really moving fast, and so it was giving her life for her to speak.
However, she said things took a turn for the worse when her mother was transferred to the female medical ward. After paying her a visit on Saturday, October 12, and then again on Tuesday, October 15,
I showed my niece that the oxygen was not going as it usually went, and I walked away about 6:47 when I said visiting time was over. And I was so scared for my mother. I was scared. I know that with the level of which the oxygen tank was moving, it was not possible for her to survive.
Still, the family was hopeful. However, on Wednesday, October 16,
I was about to leave my home for work Wednesday morning when I received a call from a funeral home stating to me that if I have a debt. And I said, who is this? Where you get my number from? And she told me that she got my number from the hospital.
We were contacted by a funeral home to say that our mother was dead and not the hospital. No doctor, no nurse contacted the family.
Angry, frustrated, and desperate to get answers, the family went back to the hospital.
I said to them at the hospital, how does a funeral home, why does a funeral home contact me before the hospital contact me? How did the funeral home got my number?
The victim's son, Kemar Brooks, said the hospital told him that they tried to reach the family several times but did not get a response. However, he told TVJ News that the family did not get any calls from the facility. Now, not only are they blaming the hospital for seemingly breaking protocol, but they believe there are questions surrounding their mother's death.
I know that they're gonna tell me that she died because of a heart failure. But my mother died because they failed to give her the sufficient oxygen to keep her alive.
When TVJ News contacted the acting regional director who is in charge of the hospital, we were told that a verbal report was made to the hospital, and the facility has since launched an investigation into the claims about the family not being contacted before the body was sent to the funeral home. However, the hospital said there are no reports about the claim of low oxygen levels administered to the patient. Kelisha Williams, TVJ News.
Joining me at this time. Sorry, I'm not at where I'm staying, but I still have to do the work. Is Natasha Brooks and her brother. Their mother, Miss Virgie Brooks, is dead. Good night, Natasha, and good night to your brother.
Good night, Andre. Good night to your listeners and viewers.
Yes.
Good night, Jamaica.
Natasha, how did you hear about the death of your... Tell me, just explain to me what really happened.
We heard about the death of our mother when my brother was driving to work exactly 8:10 a.m. Wednesday morning, October 16th.
Mm-hmm.
The call came in from a funeral home.
Hold a second.
Program.
The call came in from where?
A funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the funeral home that is contracted by the government.
So you said the call came in. So on the 16th of October, your brother got a call.
Yes.
And the call came from a funeral home.
Yes.
But you're saying that the funeral home that is contracted to Mandeville Regional Hospital is not the funeral home that contacted your brother.
Yeah, correct.
So who is the funeral home that is contracted to Mandeville Regional Hospital?
De La Pena is the funeral home that is contracted.
De La Pena is contracted. But it's never De La Pena who called you.
No, it was a funeral home from St. Elizabeth.
Wait, is a funeral home from St. Elizabeth contact you?
Contact my brother that morning. And remember, my mother died in Manchester in the hospital.
And a funeral home in St. Elizabeth contacted you?
Yes.
So when they contacted you, what did they tell your brother?
They said to my brother if he had a family that was deceased. And my brother said, where did you get my number? How did you get my number? Who is this?
Mm-hmm.
And they said to my brother, hold on. We're going to send you a WhatsApp message. And when my brother got that WhatsApp message, it was my mother's name in that WhatsApp message.
So them send you a WhatsApp message to say that Miss Virgie Brooks is dead?
Yes.
Wow. So they said that your mother is dead. So what else did they tell you in the message?
My brother hung up the call and he was driving to work and he started driving so hard. He said that he drove on the right side while crying the right side of the road to Mandeville.
Mm-hmm.
While crying because he could not believe that his mother was dead. And this is how he was hearing about it. It was like unbelievable for him. And so he started driving real fast while my daughter and the next passenger was right there with him.
Says a WhatsApp your brother get from the funeral home with your mother name.
Yes, Andre.
So why you don't want to name the funeral home who did this?
I don't want to name the funeral home.
Wow. So what did the doctor say caused the death of your mother?
As I told Jamaica, they said she died from heart failure. But I am here tonight to tell Jamaica, my mother died because she did not get the oxygen to keep her alive, at least until the daylight.
So you're saying that the hospital is short of oxygen?
No, it's not short of oxygen. That is what is tearing my heart up, Andre. It is not short. The nurse that was in charge of my mother, this is what I think, this is my belief. When that oxygen ran out that night, Andre, no other oxygen was hooked up to her. And so she perished that night. She suffered that night. When I saw her body, it tells me the agony she went through to catch her breath before her last.
So what? So when she went,
that 3 o'clock that evening,
she
told me something horrible went wrong, and that's why they rushed to took her to the morgue before we get there, because doctor said that they pronounced her 547. They found her unresponsive 547. We were at the hospital at about 8:15, because when my brother got the call, he called me and I ran out of my shoes from my workplace. And I work less than 5 minutes from the hospital. I ran out of my shoes to the hospital.
So what did
so within 3 hours, my mother was already on the ice. And so I am saying to Jamaica tonight, my mother died from in the night. No nurse attended to her that night. None whatsoever. She suffered while she took her last breath that night. My mother suffered while the oxygen was right there to be hooked up. It's not that the hospital is short on oxygen, because 2 bottles are always there.
Yes.
That the nurse failed to do her job that night.
So you believe that is gross negligence from the nurses?
100%. That is what my heart is telling me. That nurse, you know why? Andre, I was scared for my mother that Tuesday night when they ran us out of the hospital, 6:47. When I saw that nurse came over and took my mother's pressure, my niece and I, we were standing there, and she did not acknowledge us. She just pushed the blood pressure machine right there, and my niece had to get out of the way. The nurse said nothing to us. And because I want them to keep looking after my mother, I said to her, "Good afternoon, nurse. How are you?" Because my mother could not speak for herself. That was her only hope at that time. And I thought that might be nice to this person.
Yes.
And I pointed after she took my mother's blood pressure and walked away. I pointed to the oxygen.
So you're saying you're upset with Mandeville Hospital because they never make you even come to identify the body?
Not even that. Oh, Andre, there are many other stuff to the story. My mother was supposed to get an echocardiogram from Monday. Urgent was written on her file. And all of Monday, all of Tuesday went by, and she could not get it done, though we paid for it.
Wait. Echocardio something is is on the heart. You must get something for the heart, a heart test.
Find out.
So you say you pay, how much you pay for the echocardio test?
$15,000 was for it.
I have paid the money from, and the doctor said it's urgent.
As the doctor said, we will pay for it.
And all know,
She died and she did not get it done.
my God.
It was written on her file. And even the junior doctor was saying they took a patient out of here this morning. It's only fair for them to come for my mother, but they did not. And you know why I'm telling you tonight, Jamaica, that my mother died because of lack of oxygen? It's because while she was in the ER, she did another test.
Mm-hmm.
And when the gentleman that drove the ambulance come, the oxygen tank was empty, and he had to say, "Nurse, give me some fluid for this."
Wow.
They're not checking up on the patient.
Mm.
That they're not. I've seen it. I'm not lying. I've been at the hospital 5 whole days. I spent all of Friday there, all of Saturday, all of Sunday, all of Monday, all of Tuesday there at the hospital. We were there every visiting hour when I visited the security tired for runway. And we were there because our mother could not speak up for herself. So we were there. And you know what was sad? When we asked to speak to a doctor on Saturday, they told us that no doctor was available until Monday.
No doctor not available till Monday to talk to you.
Not available until Monday, 8 a.m. to speak to us. And when my brother went 8 a.m. Monday, they said that the doctor was busy, could not speak. So we had to come back 11 a.m. And when we got back 11 a.m., we were given the test to do. And even they said that a physiotherapist, she's supposed to get physiotherapist on her heart.
Mm-hmm.
How they could release some of the water because the swelling was going down. Because she was swollen and it was going down. My mother was responding every time I call her. I said, "Mama," she said, I said, "Mama, open your eyes." The very day we walk away, the very minute we walk away, the last thing we did for our mother, we dropped eye drops in her eyes. It's not we open the eyes, it's she open her own eyes, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Mama, open your eye," and she opened her eye and she looked back away. So we turn her, and we rub her back. And we make sure we clean her up and we make sure that everything was okay. And when we walk away 6:47 that night, her spirit said, "Go back." And I went back and I rubbed my mother's head and I said, "Mama, keep fighting. You are doing a good job. I love you and I'll see you tomorrow." And that tomorrow never came. The next time I saw my mother, she was frozen. And the freezer, that means she was there for hours. That's the last time I saw my mother. 6:47 a.m., the 15th of October, Tuesday.
Wow.
And the nurse, I am praying for you. I am praying for you because I saw the mark of death on you. I am praying for you because you know what you did to my mother. You deprived her of the oxygen that would keep her alive. I wanted to see her die under the oxygen. Let us see her die under the oxygen. When they wanted to counsel us, because I refused counseling, because I said somebody in here is responsible for my mother's death.
Yes.
This is not like this. My mother is a fighter. And when I saw her body, her brother tell me that my child, I was holding on for you. I was fighting for you. But I could not do it alone because I didn't get the oxygen to do it.
Wow.
My mother died. Fighter. She was always fighting. She's not going to give up. That's where I get my fighting spirit from.
Yes.
She never give up on us. She just never get the opportunity to fight to the end. They just deprive her of God's timing. I'm saying to that nurse tonight, God has seen what you have done to my mother. You know, when I go into the hospital, I look at the stands of the nurses daily. They will just sit around this big table and they will eat and laugh. Not a care to the world. Why do you become nurses if you do not care? Oh my God, this is just imagine. Andrea keeps seeing my mother's eyes. I
Yes.
keep seeing the last look that she gave me at 6:47. It cannot come out of my memory. I keep seeing her eyes. That was the last look. I didn't know that was the last look. Oh God, my mother died because of somebody who refused to give her the oxygen that was right there.
Wow. Wow. So all of this happened, and what has been the response of the hospital to you?
And the next thing that based on the news, right? Because you know the news has to be edited. They said that when we look for her on Sunday, then Tuesday we got a call. We went every single day because of editing. So I don't want Jamaica to say you send your mother to the hospital and they didn't go back. Our mother got the most visitors on the ward. They were tired of us.
Oh, so you're saying what them carry to say that there are days that you never go is not so?
No, they were tired of us. We were there. They were tired of us. All the security know us. They could tell us which visitor is around here. My brother, my sister, my niece, my nephews, my sister's husband, all of us, we were there. I knew about my mother said. And the hospital said that we made a verbal complaint. Yes, we made a verbal complaint, but a written long, three-page document is also there. Because they contacted me.
Yes.
Their condolences and tell me that they are investigating it. So not only a verbal document there, the written one is also there. We cared for our mother to the last.
Wow.
I could see her. I wish if she could even tell me what happened, because I know negligence. I may never get justice because I understand Jamaica. But I know that God will give us the justice.
Yes.
Whatever happened on October 15th. I keep asking them the question, when did she die? Tell me the time. I don't want to hear when you find her.
Stay tuned for more PDTV News Evening Highlights. Remember to show your support. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.